On April 27th, 2022, my mom texted me this idea for a podcast. And she said, and I'll screen grab it and I'll show it. It's right here. Essentially asking me if I wanted to talk to people, interview people about being fired. The background, of course, being on March 6th of 2022, I was let go from my job. I struggled for a little while and couldn't, get my feet underneath me, but eventually figured some things out and I'm doing okay. Employment lawyers, they're the best. So I thought maybe this would be a depressing podcast, and I don't know whether or not people would be interested in it. So I posted it to Twitter and sort of said, hey, if you would be interested in a podcast like this, let me know. And a couple people said, yeah, no, that's a great idea, because we could talk about what we learned from being released from service, shall we say. And so I decided I'll post that to Instagram on my Instagram story. I don't have huge followings anywhere. So this is one of those things where I have to test out on each one, and some people said, oh yeah, no, I'd be interested in that. And then I posted it to LinkedIn, which I haven't actually checked to see what the reaction is, but I believe it's probably positive. I posted it to Facebook, and the number of people that commented saying, I would love to tell my story. So I was like, well, I guess I'll produce this podcast. Well, why not? I have experience doing it. I've run the Can't Sell This podcast for 3 years. I'd love it if you check that out. Can'tSellThisPodcast.com, available on Spotify and iTunes, and really anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's on hiatus at the moment, so I do kind of have some bandwidth to record a new podcast, and I want to make my mom happy. But podcasting is a job. I've said this plenty of times on Can't Sell This. Podcasting's a job. You have to set aside time to prepare, book, record, edit, produce, release podcast to the world, and then market it. And that all takes time. For 1 minute of podcast recordings, it's about 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes of editing, right? So think of it like if you record a 1 hour podcast interview, it's about 4 more hours to get it into the shape that it ends up being as an episode. So I have a Patreon, surprisingly enough, or not surprising to anyone. But if you go to if you go to patreon.com//Hugh Q. Elliott, my Patreon is there, and I have a Here to Podcast tier. I'm normally a creative technologist that makes stuff, but for podcasting, I could use some help. That'd be amazing if I could get a couple of bucks here or there. So if you're looking to support the podcast, see it actually happen, why not be a patron? For $5 a month, you could help me out. On top of that, you could message me. My intention is to have a 1-800 number in which people can call in and talk about their experience in addition to the episodes. And maybe they end up being invited in to record. And on top of that, you could message me on Patreon and say, hey, I'd like to record an episode. This is my story. And why not? So patreon.com/Hugh Q. Elliott. Come be a patron. Help me out. Let's launch this podcast together. That would be kind of amazing to me. Oh, also, you're watching this video on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. That'd be amazing. Also, like the video. I don't know. I'm not really good at the shill of like and subscribe, support me, blah, 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 blah. But I'm sure it helps out. And, a bazillion millennials can't be wrong. Anyways, have a great day. Really appreciate you, all of you.